Hello. Have we got the mic on? We have got the mic on. God, we've done everything right already. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Friday night live stream for Fishy business. Anything vaguely fishy related, and even things that most likely aren't fishy related at all. How are we all? Hope you're having a wonderful Friday evening. I've had the week from hell, so I'm looking forward to enjoying a few adult beverages, having a bit of a chat with you lovely people. So, who have we got in of an evening so far? We've got Scott saying, good evening all. Thank you, Scott, for handling the admin for me. Evening all. Don't forget to hit that like button. That is the price of admission to the live stream, is one measly little like, even a dislike. They both work the same way. Also join the Discord if you want some advice to show off your tanks, or just fancy a chat outside of the stream. That is quite right. There should be a button for Discord somewhere. That didn't work, did it? God damn you. Stream Deck never works when I want it to work. Does that mean I can't do claps and cheers? Yes, it does. Bear with me, caller. Why are you not working? Okay, I've broken my Stream Deck. Never mind. Hello. There is a Discord. I'm sure I can turn it on manually. Let's do that. That'd be clever, wouldn't it? There you go. Up there's a link, and I'm sure Scott will have included the link, and he did indeed, so I don't know what I'm waffling on about. Join us on the Discord. If you have any fishy problems, that's a good place to hang out. It's not like your Facebook group where everyone's like, your tank too small, what parameters, blah, 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 blah. It's a very friendly and welcoming environment where people can come along, share pictures, just show off in a judgmental free zone. You can see this week we have been mostly fixing Scott's sump. But for beverages this evening, as our regular viewers will know, this is 50% aquatics channel, 50% beer review channel. I have a new set of, so as long-term subscribers will know, Northern Monk is currently my favourite brewery, so I'm trying one of these. I've got that on the palette tonight, Rocket Lolly IPA. Followed by Buxton Brewery, Phoenix IPA. I've carefully arranged all these in strength order, so I don't make the fatal mistake that we had last week where I was half cut before the end of the stream. And then another new Northern Monk one called Fruity and Futures Tank Petrol Hazy IPA. Hazy IPA, all the things that I seem to like. And then rounding off the night, if we get that far, with a Rooster Brewing Company Baby-Faced Assassin India Pale Ale. So 6.1 is the strongest we've got tonight. Oh, hang on. 6. Okay, only the first one's not rocket fuel. Rocket Lolly is only 4.7, so we'll start with that one. Let's see how we get that one. Let me know what you're partaking of this evening. What can I... Oh, sorry, I forgot to do that for the ASMR. What are you having this evening? Oh, there's a smell to that. It smells very sweet. Doesn't look particularly dark or heavy. There we go, never make a barman. But apparently it's better to have the head there than it is in your tummy. So it doesn't make you farty pants. That's not bad, you can't see my face through it. That's what we want. It's very sweet and very fruity smelling. Who else have we got then? Juggler says, evening all. Silver Creek in on time for once. Welcome. GB, we've got Ross from a lovely spring Edinburgh. Technically it's spring here too, but it's Baltic. Does not taste as it smells. I was expecting to get hit with a face full of sugar and fruitiness, but it's bland. It's not nasty. I know 50% of the beers I try on this channel, I'm like, oh God, what is that horrible guff? But that's fine, perfectly drinkable. Just a bit disappointed, really. Wanted a bit of bite. Brian says hello, as does Martin. Kaylee, I'm really sorry I've not sent out your prize from last week. For those of you joining for the first time, the loose agenda, if I call it that, is I waffle for about an hour, we have a quiz, someone wins the quiz, I send them a prize, and then we waffle for the rest of the evening. This is very much a free-form thing where we have a bit of back and forth. There isn't a set agenda that we go through. It's very, very loose. I'm hoping that next week we might even have a guest on. I've had tentative initial discussions. We talked about it a few weeks back, saying, right, let's get some guests on. Showcase some of those like hidden gems of channels that are out there with the good stuff that just aren't getting the views that they deserve. And instead you've got Muggins here that doesn't know Scooby. With, not lots of subscribers, but compared to some that are way more knowledgeable than what I am, let's see if we can entice a few of them out of the woodwork, get them on, give them a bit of exposure. I can give them some exposure and they can lend me some credence to maybe teach me something, and I might actually learn and grow and figure out something other than just blindly making mistakes and destroying things, which seems to be how my channel goes these days. So we might have a guest on next week, so we might have more invitations for who are your other favourite YouTubers, be they big, small, really specific, really wide, whatever you want to know. Although I do have my crippling low self-esteem and shyness, says the guy making videos on the internet, but it's true. I'm going to make a concerted effort to reach out to people, so I want it to be people that you want to see me talking to, or want to see them get either a bigger platform or teach me something I don't know, or it has to be interesting. It just can't be just like, oh, I want to speak to King of DIY, oh, I want to speak to Corey from Aquarium Co-op. That would be great, but that's not. I want it to give something back to the viewers and be useful to the viewers in some way, rather than it just being me trying to make my channel bigger, because not really what we're about. So suggestions for people that you'd like to see me talking to, suggestions for topics that you'd like to see discussed, whether it's something that we do in a pre-recorded way or get someone on as a guest. Much like you asking me questions and me answering them on the stream makes the content. You giving me ideas of what content you want to see, I'll go away and make it. It's kind of the deal we've had going on for a while on this channel, so hopefully we can carry that through. Freshwater Ichthyology, Rebecca, hi. Rebecca and Marigold, I believe, is watching the stream tonight. If you get on Discord, you'll know what we're talking about. Loud and clear, Kaylee, thank you. Friday night live, it's 1 p.m. here. Hello from Southern California. Well, Friday afternoon live. I apologise. I can't be delaying my time zones and all that kind of stuff to cater for everyone. So, sucks to be you, because I'm having a beer. Hans is in from Sweden. Hello, Hans. How are you doing? Dangerous Dan, Mark, David. A fantastic sunny day today was. Not for me. Hi from Pensworth, says the King of DIY. Hello, how are you? Running to the store to get pup food. Hope I'm back in time for the shark themed quiz. It's not a shark themed quiz. It just happened to have some shark questions. But yeah, no, it's been Baltic today here. I had my daughter's school's, what were they calling it? Coronation celebration? Basically, get all the parents down to stand in a field for an hour and a half while 800 kids sing songs at you. I was like, oh God. I don't want to be rude, but I only cared about one of those 800 kids. She was almost last on as well, so I was like sitting there going, Jesus Christ, it's so cold, why are we doing this? But yeah, it has not been nice here today. It's been lovely and pleasant earlier in the week, but no, not today. Thanks again to everyone that helped sort out Scott, that's Scott and his sump. Waiting for the water to clear up and then fish in. Moretti for Brian. Some wine while running some Python. You're obsessed with your Python codes these days. I've been running for 10 hours so far. Oh dear. Fish Fam Link is in. Good evening, Fish Fam Link. Deb's Aqua Pets, hello. And King Eddie Weird, Pensworth UK. Apparently there's a Pensworth in the USA as well. Aren't you in Canada? Di Serono for Kelly. Yeah, Nova Scotia. Right, let me see how far. Oh, I'm not that far away from the bottom of the chat for once. I might even keep up. So, what loose topics did we have tonight? If I had my Stream Deck working, been bloody fortune in these things. They never bloody work. What was I going to say? Aquatic news. Aqua Telford or Water Life or Water Alive, I think as it was called. If anyone who saw my latest... God, think before you speak, Graham. Anyone who saw my recent guest appearance on Dr. Awesome's live stream, where he talked about coming over to the UK this year and hoping to visit Telford. I've never heard that phrase uttered by anyone ever, but hoping to visit the Telford Aqua Telford. I can think of no other way to describe it as what it is. It's basically a trade show that's run every year. Well, pre-COVID it would be a trade show that run every other year, I think, where you'd get your likes of Fluval, Eheim, whoever it might be, would all come, and it would be a trade thing where they'd show off their latest and greatest products, and they'd have booths and stands and all that kind of stuff. I went a couple of times masquerading as being in the trade, basically. I don't know how it happened, but they thought I was from YouTube for some reason. But anyway, I applied under my Aquarium Adventures business, and then there was some kind of mix-up, and I went round with the YouTube credentials all weekend. So I was like, yeah, I'm YouTube. That's great. So loads of people were like, oh, can we talk to you? I was like, this is brilliant. But anyway, it's a trade show. This year it was to be opened up to the public, and they were going to do a public event. I think the public event was going to be called Water Alive. And to me, it was a bit of a no-brainer. Why wouldn't you want to do a public show? And I think it was seeing the success of things like Aquashella and the larger shows that you see over in the US doing really well, being really popular. And again, getting people like YouTubers to get involved and spread free advertising, if nothing else, for the trade side of things, as well as getting people in through the door, handing over some money to buy some of the things or to buy tickets to get in at least and fund some of this stuff. But yeah, they've cancelled it. So I was a bit gutted because I was going to go. I was hoping it would be, I knew it wouldn't be the same as Aquashella because Owata's running it, and I just don't think they have it in them to do that kind of thing. No disrespect to anyone watching from Owata, but they've just always been a bit of a good intention, but every time they do a thing I'm like, why have they done that, or why are they saying it? Oh, that doesn't make sense. So I knew it wouldn't be good, but I thought it would be a good entry into that world and maybe drive a bit of interest and excitement so other hobbyists might get together and do things. I know we've jokingly talked on this channel in the past about how we could run our own FishyCon and do our FishyCon event thing, but this would have been it. This could have been it, and yeah, it's and it's such a mealy-mouthed statement that we just couldn't make it work, blah 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 blah. I don't mean to be. I don't know, because obviously I'm only seeing all this from the outside, but the statement that was released on their website and Twitter and every other news article I've seen covering it has had zero response. So maybe that is indicative in and of itself that just nobody cared. Now, I know we come on here, so what have we got? 40 odd people on this stream now. If you're willing to spend your Friday night listening to Gubbins here, you're a fish geek. So these people exist, but they obviously need to get hundreds of people through the door or thousands of people through the door. Maybe they just didn't see their audience. I don't know what the reasons were. It was a bit, we can't make it work. It's not going to. I've heard some rumours on some sites that it was some of the trade exhibitors didn't want the public to be there, because it's just, I guess it adds a level of complexity for them, because they have to be able to deal with the public. And some of them spat their dummy out a little bit. I heard that there just wasn't enough interest in tickets. I don't know how they knew that, given they hadn't actually released the tickets yet. So, well, that was a bit of a, how do you know that? So there's lots of... well, that's wrong. There isn't lots of anything. There's very little speculation of what's going on, and it just seems to have passed without much incident or interest, really, which is indicative of why it might not be going ahead in the first place, I guess. Which is a shame, because I think the UK is missing out here. When I talk to my American friends, they're always going to conventions and the big things. Maybe not Aquashella all the time, and obviously that is a big production, but something along those lines. Surely we must be able to organise something. So if you're an events planner, get in touch, get on Discord. Maybe we can kick off FishyCon 2024 and do it properly. Who knows? Lee says hello from Farnworth. Hello. Rebecca says my water change video surprisingly did really well. That was much more toned down one than I said I might decide on airing. Yeah, when there's a bandwagon, jump on it, even if you've got nothing to say. But yeah, I thought your video was really good. It was slightly... what's the word I'm trying to use? It was coming from a slightly different direction than a lot of the other ones, which were all either populist opinion or no, the old opinion, or this opinion. It was I did one as well. In fact, I almost squeezed two out of it. My last video was a bit water changey, which was more about yours was more about the mechanics of water change or the science of water change. Why do we do it? What are the variables? Things that other people just didn't cover. So I was glad to see it, and I hope it did well for you. Good. Stephen says, beer and fish. Can he beat it? Quite right, quite right. We've moved on a little bit. Hang on. What if we did a one-time fishy quiz Jeopardy-style show with Graham as host, 3 or 4 years? Yeah, well, hey, that'd be good. Pond Guru, you'd like to see Pond Guru, would you? I could probably make that happen. Past 12 p.m, alcohol is fine. Yeah, nothing wrong with a wee lunchtime drink. Hello from Southern California, says African Orchid Dude. Your video and audio setup are excellent. Well, thank you very much. They're very much thrown together at the last minute. But I'm glad you like it. It could be a Krypton Factor style show with the assault course round being them trying to navigate the underground maze behind Graham's fish room. Yeah, we could do this. The whole no water change thing is why I stopped recommending or showing people how to do the things that I do. People only take partial advice, ignore important key points, and wonder why they failed. It baffles me why. In fact, I might even go and have a quick look now here and see if I can show you what I'm talking about. That people will watch a video or claim to have watched the video, and then they'll even comment on the video as if they are some kind of industry-renowned specialist on something. And I can just imagine them sitting there going, oh, how clever am I? No one will ever have thought of writing this. And you're like, yes, knobhead. The reason no one has ever thought of writing that is because the point was addressed in the bloody video you're commenting on. It just always happens. I haven't been responding to a lot of comments this week because there's just been too much going on. But see if I can remember. What am I trying to talk about? That's little face. It don't work either. God damn it. Let's see, desktop. So there was a whole bunch of... Right, this one. So, Brandon, if you're watching, I apologise. I'd recommend just drilling your sump for a bulkhead. I wouldn't rely on a pump alone. So this was the video where I was doing my automatic water changes and talked about how my sump, which was on the ground, needed to get water into a water butt, which was off the ground. So there's no drain. All these pertinent points of information were in the video. Power outage would mean flood, says Mike Hunt. So I tried to play along because, you know, comments are good for YouTube videos. Any engagement's good engagement. Why? If I drill the sump and put a bulkhead in, it'll just flood the floor. As shown in the video, the water needs to go to a water butt on the other side of the room, higher than the sump. Can you just plumb it to run outside via the garage door? No! Obviously you'd need a drain with the pipe, not just let it go on the floor, lol. There is no drain, hence pump. Anyway, there was this is just one of the many comments of things that were already covered by the video itself. There were so many of them talking about, oh, that'd be terrible. What if that's a terrible idea you've got there? Why are you using the pump to pump water out of your sump into the drain? What happens if you get a power cut? If I get a power cut, the bloody sump pump is the least of my problem. The 30 odd other tanks around the fish room that will all die because there's no power going to them. I don't know why everyone would seem to be fixating on this sump pump. I think it's because I bought a ridiculously big sump pump. But all the comments were like, it makes me... I don't know why it makes me livid, but it makes me livid that people comment, and I know now more people are going to do this because they know I'm going to be sitting here going, that they comment on it. I'll say a thing like, hello everybody, welcome to the video, 2 plus 2 is 4. And the very first freaking comment will be, why did you not tell me what 2 plus 2 was? And I'm like, within 30 seconds of the video I covered that exact point. I've even started putting bits into my video, edited afterwards of me sitting here going, I know somebody's going to be asking this, so I'll just say it now so you don't have to ask the question. Still get the question. I don't know why I keep doing it like that. I very much doubt they're typing like this because that would be quite hard. Oh, it's giving me a bit of a headache. So, there's that whole thing, and it is, without putting too fine a point on it, it's doing my nut in. It almost puts me off making videos now. It's one of the things I really enjoy making videos. I really enjoy documenting the growth, what I'm doing. This is my hobby. Here's me doing it. I'm not really an educational channel. I'm not really like King of DIY. Education, inspiration. No, I'm just doing my thing and showing you. And if it's useful, which is usually useful one of two ways. It's how to do a thing or how not to do a thing, because I cock it up. That's fine. But just the inane, moronic commenting for commenting's sake. I mean, there's like the evil not evil, but there's one guy who's been stalking me recently. What was it? Where's this one? So I made a mega mistake when I was talking about my tilapia in the big mega tank, saying that it was starting to attack everything. That's not a mistake, that's lots of mistakes. Bad combs of fish. I think he's trying to say combos. Your tanks are dirty, sad. It just made me think of Donald Trump writing that comment. And then another one I was talking about discus quarantining. Bad! Discus is schooling fish at first. Never mix different sizes. Second, who has 3 huge tanks for quarantining? Just fuck off. If you don't like that is how you quarantine fish. If you're going to do it properly, and even again in the video I talked about it, this is how you do it properly. Not everyone does this. So some people do this, some people do the other. These are all varying levels of efficacy of how to quarantine fish. But no, I'm wrong, even though I included every possible comment. Anyway, other than that, sorry, I'm just being blinded by a light. That's I'm thinking of using my second channel to do like response videos, because it's just petty if I make a video about responding to comments, but I think I have enough comments on all my videos where I could wrap up 2 or 3 videos worth of comments and respond to them. And some of them are genuine good things that I wish I had a chance to explain, where someone will say, oh, why didn't you do this? And I haven't covered it in the video. I'd like to be able to go and say, well, my thinking here that I should have included in the video but didn't is blah, blah, blah. And I can cover that. And then the morons, I can say, you're a div, and cover them that way, because I've realised that the second channel, so there will be a link, hopefully one of my mods will be putting a link in the description to the second channel. The idea would be like clips from the live stream, where it would be just the pertinent bits from the live stream, like a rant like this, or the quiz, or whatever it is, getting like 10 views. The amount of time it takes me to edit those videos and put them together, I'm going to get bored of that very, very quickly. Where I made like a blooper one that got 100 and something, I made another one that got a couple of hundred. So I think original content is the only way the second channel is going to work in any way at all. So I think we'll be focusing more on that. So I need to include things like whether it's beside the scenes. Hello, like this is the scene. Behind the scenes stuff of like creating videos and how I do that kind of stuff. Bloopers, like the comments videos that we're talking now, or reaction videos, that kind of stuff. Stuff that just doesn't naturally fit into the main channel. So that was my first thing to talk about this evening. I know it's taken me 26 minutes to get round to the point. What do you think of that? Does that sound interesting? Would anybody be interested in seeing that kind of stuff? I want to see Dan's Aquarium, Mountain Goldfish on your channel personally. I'd not want to collaborate again after the Alex incident. Well, I know, you're just a big scaredy cat, Joey. You don't want to collaborate, that's absolutely fine. Dan's Aquarium, I've had a couple of exchanges with him on emails and things like that. Mountain Goldfish, I know Mountain Goldfish. Mountain Goldfish. There's a channel that's rocketing up through the stratosphere and nothing else. He got in touch with me the other day to ask me about what was he asking me about? Microphones or something like that, saying, oh, hiya, you get any advice on what mics I could use? People are commenting on my videos that I need better audio. My channel's taken off a little bit. This was Mountain Goldfish. I have had, I'm not going to look for them now, but basically I had chats going back years, 2 years I think, when he was first getting started, and he sent me a couple of messages on Facebook, I think it was, talking about, oh, how do you do this, what do you do that, and me talking him through it. And I think even one of the messages was, don't forget me when you when you become famous. I want a shout out when you've got 100,000 subscribers. His last video's got something like 700,000 views. It's like just out of nowhere. So congratulations, Mountain Goldfish. Maybe we'll get him on and we can talk about that. That might be a really good thing. Well, like what it feels like to go from getting a couple of hundred views a video to hundreds of thousands of views a video, and in a really short time too. So yeah, that's not bad. But King of DIY, you're welcome to come on anytime. I will be gentle. Lily, how are you doing? Rex says, I found my attitude to medication etc. attracts the no water change people, but I don't want anything to do with that community. How's Mrs. A's pond doing? Says Ross. Well, it's, I wonder if I can, maybe if I plug this in, I might be able to show you something. I am a professional. There you go. I'll find the hole. It's getting there. There is water in it. Let's put it that way. Oh no, where's my... Oh, hang on. I thought I had filmed myself with the mini digger. Oh, we'll need to... Anyway, it is in. Water is in. The liner just needs a bit of tidying up and some extra rocks and things. But yeah, video coming soon. Bear with me, I'm just getting messages from my kids saying, give me more screen time on my phone. If you're watching, dear, yes, of course I will give you more screen time on your phone. It is Friday night after all. It's not like I'm in the middle of a live stream or anything. There we go. Sorry about that, everyone. So yes, the pond's doing well. We're still having discussions about whether or not we're ever going to have fish in it. I'm trying to find some kind of solar solution to power a pond. So I've got almost got everything I need. So I've created a little area where I thought, oh, that would be really good to have like a bog filter and a barrel. I just need to convince her to let me use power on the pond, or we find some kind of solar solution to move water around. And I have been looking at some Heath Robinson efforts with larger solar panels that might work quite well. But yeah, we'll see. So give it a couple of weeks and there will surely be a video on it. I heard there was a lot of politics regarding it. Aquatics Live was cancelled due to lack of public interest, and that was London. Yeah, and that's what I mean, that the announcements went uncommented on. There was like Twitter with, sorry, we've had to cancel. Crickets. That would have been a good time for the crickets button to work. It's really annoying me. Sorry, I do apologise. Bear with me a second. Why is my Stream Deck no worky? Why does it say waiting for OBS? That didn't make sense either. Just talking to myself now, aren't I? Question. If there was to be an Aquashella UK kind of thing, would you fill the YouTubers booth full of beer? Well, I don't know what you're trying to say about me. I think my booth might be the one that has beer in it, if there was ever going to be one. Silver Creek says, I'm beyond a fish geek. I look forward to this stream every Friday. I even told my wife I'll be busy for the next bit. I do appreciate that. Everyone that comes along. But we are all a bit special, you have to admit. But alright, if I organise some kind of aquatic experience fishy show, I will provide some booze. Some booze. You'll be expected to bring a bottle as well. Any seasoning suggestions for the cod? What? Oh, missed one. I have already mowed 4 acres and I'm getting some cod ready for the smoker. Smoked cod? I've never had smoked cod before. Any seasoning suggestions? Oh no, I don't know. I think conventions, events here are more complete. I think conventions and events here are more complicated. I didn't go to the last Bristol one, not because I didn't have free day, but reasons. Yeah, but I think a general... And I get what you're saying there. So I expected this Water Life one, or Water Alive one, to be a bit meh, but it would show some opportunities for improvement. So I thought it would be, oh, right, you would get the uber geeks there, and they would probably have a fine time, but we might be able to say, like, this was a bit, that was over the top, that was under the top, you need to put more effort into this, and there would be feedback, and it would be something that in 5 years' time would be great fun. It would be an Aquashella style event. But if we never get it off the ground, it's never going to happen. Alright, so let's see if we can catch up a wee bit. show us some love and support by giving the thumbs up, Fish Fam. Thank you very much. Fish Fam link. Easy for me to say. Fish Fam link. Do indeed show us some love. Did you water test the tank for the tap? Yeah. Did you see Mountain Goldfish went viral? Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. He has gone through the roof. In fact, I think he might even be on more than that now. Maybe I just picked them. What's his face? MD. He used to come on my videos and streams commenting when he had a few hundred subscribers. And they all leave me behind when they all go flying into the stratosphere. Yeah, 9,000 subscribers, 748,000 views on the last video. Well, the last one's got 81,000 views, but the one before that, 748,000. And what a mighty impressive beard as well. I delete videos with harmful comments, says Rebecca. It's pointless comments with little behind them. I see it better to do the same. Yeah, I have no problem with people commenting. It's my problem. I don't know why I get wound up. And I know, like I said earlier, I know people are going to do this. I'm getting wound up by someone asking a question or saying a thing about something that I literally talk about in the video. It just drives me potty. Because I want to go, you effing idiot, I just go to 1 minute 35 that I specifically speak about this issue. And I think, oh, what an arse. Why would you say it like that? Maybe they just missed it. Who am I to think that somebody's going to sit and watch my whole video? So it's the whole conflict. There's a war going on inside this head. Just going, shut up, you idiot. No, tell them what. No. They're going to get you with the comments. We're Gen X, we don't give a F about comments. Yeah, and that has crossed my mind as well, that obviously the people that are making these comments don't give a toss about making the comments. Personally, I'd be more worried about that top-up falling out if something bumps the cover. Yeah, so that took me a minute. I have secured it better than I did in the video. I was just showing bits in the video. So yeah, the top-up line I've just got kind of stuck in and clamped on by the lid of Mega Tank. But yeah, I have secured it a little bit better. Mickey's in. Advance warning, it is 21:38 here at 2200 hours. 10 o'clock for everyone else. We'll start the quiz. I have a quiz prepared. There is a theme, so if you want to do 20 minutes of research on the theme. Fishy questions, current affairs questions, Eurovision questions. So for my American friends who are going, what the hell is Eurovision? You've got 20 minutes to figure it out. Shamu aquariums. I could say to keep multiple rainbow sharks together, you got to keep them in a group of 5+ and have a 100+ gallon tank and have tons of hiding spots, and then threaten people will throw 7 of them into a 30 gallon. Indeed, and that is a responsibility of YouTubers. Now you can either completely absolve yourself of that responsibility and say, I'm not giving advice, I'm just speaking, I'm just talking. But whenever you say anything, people only take the tiniest little snippet of information of the thing that they're interested in and discard the rest. So you could say something like that and all they will hear is, I can keep multiple in a tank. They don't listen to the bits that say, I can keep up to 5 or it has to be a big tank. They just hear, I can keep more than 1 in a tank. Brilliant. I heard what I wanted to hear. I'm going to go off and do it now. Pardon me. IHSP says, hello, and hello to everyone else as well. Hello. The world is full of divs, or as we call them, fuds. It is true. And, you know, I'm not precious. If all the idiots in the world wanted to come and watch my videos, I'd be more than happy. Right, that one was done. That was a bit nondescript. Wasn't great. Wasn't terrible, but wasn't great. It's my first non-hit from from Northern Monk, the Rocket Lolly. So at number 2, we're going to move on to this one. Buxton Brewery, Phoenix IPA. Scary can. Oh god, I'm miles away from the bottom. Bloody hell. Right, I'm going to try and scroll down. Remember, if you have a question, if there's anything you want to ask, a topic you want to be covered, if you type the word question into your comment, it gets highlighted and I get to see it a little bit. Hopefully we're back. Okay. I did say the MD fish tanks or aquatics. What is he called? Why can I never remember things like that? Fish tanks, isn't it? Yeah, he used to come on stream when he had fewer subscribers than I did. Oh, that's nice. But I'm in no way jealous. I made up for Mountain Goldfish, or Mountain Aquatics as he's now called. He's rebranded. I made up for MD Fish Tanks. I want everyone to have this. This is something I've said time and time again. YouTube is a big enough platform for everyone. There's space out there for multiple people to have success. It's not a case of having to do better by beating someone else. Yeah, so I'm made up for them. No, I think that was my computer dying. It just shows you need one video to go viral and boom, I reckon YouTube is having a glitch. Yeah, it does happen. I've seen it in other like non-fishy genres or niches. I think the algorithm, people talk about the algorithm as if it's like a sentient being, but I think the algorithm does test itself. So it will take channels, videos, whatever it might be, and show them and give them a few thousand impressions just to see what happens. Do they take off? But it happens to big channels, it happens to small channels. You'll hear big channels complain as much as small channels for the reverse, where the big channels are saying, look, I normally get 100,000 views per video, and this week I only got 20,000 views. What the hell? What's going on? Whereas the flip side of that coin is a small channel saying, I normally get 5,000 views, this week I've got 20,000 views. Woohoo! What the hell's going on? It's just, people have done in-depth research into this. YouTube themselves have made videos about this. It is the algorithm testing itself to see whether or not it's making the right decisions over what it should promote or not. They don't care about me, you, us. They want to sell ads. That's all they care about. They don't care if we're popular or not. If they can sell more ads by pushing Mountain Goldfish's video rather than MD Fish Tank's videos, then they'll push that, and they'll continue to do that. So they make all those little tests and decisions on a smaller level constantly, and I imagine this has just happened when one of them clicks and it just happens to make one of those tests on a video that's it's got a good thumbnail or a good title or whatever it is, and it just takes off. Yeah, happens to the King of DIY as well. I remember him getting onto the the trending page on YouTube, the first ever aquarium video to be on the trending page. And my God, didn't you live off that one for a long time? Yeah, and so Rebecca's saying there, for me, The video cursed me for a year. I always cite my sources as well, unlike a large number and that's it. It's not the quality of the video or the quality of the research that goes into the video almost means nothing. So your well-researched video will only appeal to people who seek out and appreciate well-researched videos. There are more people who seek out and appreciate sensationalized videos or short-form, punchy, quick to the point, fast edits, all that, clouds, bright colours, flashing lights. They love all that stuff. So that's what YouTube will push. But you will find your audience. So I'm sure you have quite the following of people who do appreciate those things. Maybe we should get you on as one of the guests and push your channel a little bit more as well. Because that's I think that needs to be done. That we need to appreciate. It's like everyone keeps saying, you need to go and visit your local fish shops or they will disappear. Same for the good channels that actually have scientific knowledge and are citing sources and researching things before they just say them. It's not like a big dumbass like me going, oh, I'm building a thing, oh, it broke and water went everywhere. If we don't promote the channels that are doing the good heavy lifting of the aquatic hobby, we'll lose them because they'll get bored of making videos and they'll just not do it anymore. And then you'll only have big dumb idiots like me going, oh, I built a thing, man. And nobody wants that. Right, 10 minutes to go. We'll give you the 10-minute warning of the quiz, today's quiz. Let me make sure I only share the correct link, not like the other week. The link is going into chat now. If you want to play along, as always, this is a quiz based on questions Muggins here has researched. So they might not always be completely correct. It's what the thing I googled said was right. 20 questions, 30 seconds each to answer the question. The quicker you answer the question correctly, the more points you get. And after the end of the 20 questions, whoever's got the most points is... What do points make? Prizes. Rubbish prizes. So, I'll give you... We've got about, 12 minutes before we start that. Aquarium Daily, good evening. How you doing? Oh, cod update. I went with citrusy with some blackened seasoning on it. I think you've got to be quite delicate with fish, surely. It'd be easy to overpower, says Chef Graham. Taking a trip to Derbyshire Coy to choose new fish. Ooh. If you haven't been watching, Aquarium Daily has been also doing some pond work. I've been watching your videos as well. Sandy, hello, how you doing? Crown Tail Half Moon, hello. Everybody getting in time just for the quiz. If you've noticed, I've just put in the quiz link, so get in there. Clark's Mini Fish Room, hello. Been a while since I had a Friday night off to join in. Nice to see you back. Apart from mountain goldfish and obviously MD, there's not much interesting in the UK apart from your channel. Oh, that's nice of you to say. Somehow don't believe you, to be brutally honest. There are. It's just about going and finding them. That's all. So that's why I'll go back to my earlier point of if I do have any sway in the YouTube side of things I mean, it's nothing compared to MD or anyone like that, but I'm happy to use my limited sway of my 15,000 subscribers to push some of the better channels, so it gives them a bit of a boost and keeps them interested. Because you don't roll out of bed being good at making videos. It takes years. And it's soul destroying sometimes that you spend so much time making these videos and putting this content out for 10 people to watch it. You're a bit like, why am I doing this? So I want to give people a reason to do it. You're doing it because it's useful information. You're doing it because it's entertaining. You're doing it because it's a source of research for the next person. How many tanks in the TARDIS? Oh, I don't know. Matthew says, my wife told me she knows it's Friday because she hears Scottish man talking about fish playing in the house. I'm not deleting a video because someone said something negative. They didn't put in the work. I did. They can piss off as far as... Yeah, I wouldn't ever think you'd delete your videos. Maybe delete the commenters, because some of them are just... I've obviously pissed some people off in the past, and they get bored after a while, so if you just ignore them, they go away. But you'll see them. One person will go across 50 videos making a nasty comment on each one of them, and you're like, okay. You having fun? Fine, go for it. It's not ever made me think, well, I'm going to take that video down. It usually makes me want to make another one on the same subject. Banned from goldfish, as my partner says, I can't buy any. Their health isn't great, and you can see it getting people. Their health isn't great, and can't see it getting better till people ask for it. Yes, there are a lot of extremes in the fancy goldfish world, aren't there? You think that fish can't be healthy. That doesn't look like they can barely swim. Are we getting the answers to the quiz early? Hopefully not. Hopefully not. Oh, God, we've got loads of questions. Right, we've got a couple of minutes before I'm going to scoot through. How are the plans for the fish room extension going? Well, I've bought some lumber for my American friends to build a shed to move out some of the stuff that's in there at the moment and hopefully start building the office. So we're probably a couple of weeks away because there's just lots of crap going on at the moment. Question, which treatment for protein bubble on fish? I have been feeding less and treating with Escher 2000 and no change. Protein bubble on fish? I don't know what that means. I don't know. As always, I don't know. Go on Discord and post a picture to tell us what you're talking about. We'll see if we can have a look. Question, how high do you think a sponge filter will lift water? Thinking of using one of those ones as big as your head to see if I can lift water from 60 centimetre down to feed a bog filter on a patio pond. Interesting experiment. I mean, with enough air, you should be able to lift a fair amount of water. 60 centimetre doesn't seem possible. And it's not really the size of the sponge filter, it's the size of the pipe. So, yeah, that's not going to end well. Do some experiments. Just get a bucket and air stone, increase the diameter of the pipe, and you'll see. I did do some testing. I think I made a video about that. Because I was using an airlift system, like I almost said a hamburger filter. What am I thinking of? Hamburger filter. That's not the right. Is it? It can't be hamburger filter. Hamburg mitten filter? Is that what I'm getting confused of? The one where you have a big bit of sponge dividing your tank and you use an airlift to put the water and draw it through them. And I had different depths of tanks, so I tried out what worked best. So you'll probably be able to get it to work, but it'll be about picking the right diameter and flow of air to see how you can maximise your flow rates, basically. Right, we've got 5 minutes to go. Let's see if I can get some of my comments down. I like that one. The opinion you follow should be your own. Simply take this as a second opinion from a complete stranger online. IT guy having IT problems? I was. Yeah, I don't know why it does this every now and again. I do, but it'd be far too boring to explain it. Any plans you might come over the pond to like Aquashella ever? No. No plans. I'm not against it. I just don't have any plans. It would be a very unjustifiable trip. So unless I manage to make a family holiday at the same time, I wouldn't be able to justify the cost. Unless, of course, you all click subscribe and go and watch hundreds of my videos and I become an internet sensation and the YouTube money buys my plane ticket, then yes, I'd love to go. I'd definitely love to go. But I can't see it being financially viable, really. My 8-year-old made a YouTube short the other day of her hand. It got 1.7 thousand views in 5 hours. Yeah. I mean, it is a bit crazy. I mean, things like TikTok and YouTube Shorts, for instance, if you made an account, a brand new account, your first 3 videos, I think they quite widely published this, your first 3 TikTok videos or your first 3 YouTube Shorts got artificially promoted to make you feel more engaged. And again, that's what I'm talking about earlier. If you don't feel like you're getting anything out of making the videos, you're not going to make the videos. So they would push them, hoping that they'd get you in and excited about making videos, and then you'd make more and more and more. Ed says, hello from the USA. Just found your channel the other day. I've been keeping fish for over 40 years and just recently got some discus. Never had them before. Always thought they were too fragile. I hope I put that right for you. They're not that fragile at all. Last couple of minutes, I will put the link in one more time. One more. Almost sang again. I don't need that. If you want to join the quiz, it's free to take part and you might win a prize. Mark Stelson's in. Hello, Mark. Or good day, Mark, should I say. Oh, I saw something there. No, I didn't. Right, we are getting close. God, there's millions of comments. Thank you for all your comments, everyone. I'm sorry if I'm skipping over any of them. Fishman has a playlist on airlifts, or there's a commercial product of Jets Lift, Swiss Tropics. I'm sure that, yeah, I mean, airlifts are, by their very nature, straightforward, simple. It's the kind of thing that I really like because they're so unmechanical, if that makes sense. There's no moving parts. Nothing can break. It can't go wrong, really. Or I never say it can't. But they're really good. So if you get something that works for you and gets it dialed in, they're a really good option. I know I've pissed people off, but hey, it's better to be pissed off than pissed on. You're not wrong there. Unless you're on fire, says Mark. Ah, dear. It's the size of the pipe, the air hole size, and CFM. What does CFM mean? Cubic. No. Crumpled filter media. Classic feature movie. I don't know what that means. Hamburg Matin filter. I knew that's something along those lines. I quite like this one. Not to divert, but this is the Buxton Brewery Phoenix IPA. It's only 6%, so not quite as devastating as my favourite ones that are all about 8%. Mosaic, Simcoe and Huguenot hops. A juicy IPA with abundant ripe mango and stone fruit alongside citrus fruit. So that's that one. That'll be going up high on the spreadsheet. Right, are we about ready, people? We have 14 players in the playlist right now. In the waiting room right now. This is your last chance, so I'm about to do the intro to save me editing it for the... Are we about ready? So, clap, 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 because that don't work. Right, everyone, welcome to the Friday night quiz. There will be some aquatic questions, there will be some topical questions, and there'll be some random questions. As always, the questions are researched by me, so it might not always be completely true, but give it your best shot. Fastest correct answer on each one gets most points for each question, and whoever gets the gold position will get a prize at the end of the day, night, week, whatever. So, without much further ado, let's switch over and say best of luck to everyone. 15 players, someone getting just at the end. Are we ready? Let's go! Question number 1. How many bridges... Oh, is that better? How many bridges cross the River Thames? Or the Thames River, as I have put it. How many bridges... Oh, no, that's not what I wanted to do. I was trying to move myself out of the way. Is that better? Is it 138, 44, 211 or 12? How many bridges cross the Thames River? That was the first one. First Eurovision themed question. Which city is hosting the Eurovision Song Contest this year? Is it Bristol, Belfast, Liverpool or Glasgow? Now, if you're in the UK, you probably can't avoid knowing what the answer to this one is. But if you're not in the UK, I apologise profusely. Well, not profusely. It was Liverpool. How many oceans border the USA? Is it 2? Is it 3? Is it 4? Or is it 5? I must admit, I got this one wrong when I first thought of the question. So I thought, a bit of a trick. I'll just say, remember Alaska. 3. Which fish has the largest, relative to body size, teeth? Those of you typing the answers into chat, ain't going to work. You need to go on the link that I stuck in. I can't give you points. Go on the link, it takes you to another website, and then you can answer the questions there. Which fish has the largest teeth? Goliath tigerfish, piranha, alligator gar, or pacu? It's the Goliath tigerfish. Question number 5. Which country won the first Eurovision contest? Which country won the first Eurovision contest? Was it Italy, Switzerland, France, or Belgium? Wow. Why has that gone in there? Oh, what's going on? Have I given away the answers again? What categories do corals come under? Plant, fungus, animal, or mineral? So far, we've got Juggler on 120 points, Shadow on 98, Fishology on 79, Dan on 79. It was, of course, Animal. I think when everybody answers the question, that's when the timer runs out. A new butterfly was named, that's meant to say, this week, after which Lord of the Rings character? Sauron, Gandalf, Frodo, or Bilbo? I don't see the resemblance, if I'm completely honest. Sauron. A YouTuber was jailed this week for what? Deliberately crashing a train, deliberately crashing a plane, deliberately crashing a car, or deliberately crashing a boat. So a YouTuber was jailed this week for deliberately crashing something, which is easy for me to say. Deliberately crashing what? It was a plane. How many acts are competing in the Eurovision finals tomorrow? Juggler, I'm beginning to suspect cheating. I will forensically go through this. Answers later. How many acts are in the Eurovision finals tomorrow? 18, 22, 26 or 30? It is 26. The average pencil contains enough graphite to draw a line how long? 3 miles, 5 miles, 35 miles or 53 miles? 3, 5, 35, 53. Oh, it's many, many acts, Rebecca. Going on all day. It's 35. How many adults still stuck their thumb? 1 in 100, 1 in 10, 1 in 1,000, 1 in 50. I don't know why I thought of this question. 1 in 100, 1 in 10, it's 1 in 10. Which of these countries is not competing in the Eurovision finals? Croatia, Australia, Albania or Denmark? Which of these countries is not competing in the Eurovision finals? Croatia, Australia, Albania or Denmark? Silver Creek. What the fuck is Eurovision? It's a ridiculous song contest. What country is this? Philippines, Canada, Australia or Norway? The Eurovision Song Contest is a competition for bands and singing and songs. It's a song competition for every country in Europe and some that aren't in Europe for some reason. Extremely camp, extremely weird sometimes. Some people love it, some people hate it, but the L046 pleco is more commonly known as the gold nugget pleco, the peppermint pleco, the zebra pleco, or the giraffe pleco. Juggler's definitely cheating. It's the zebra pleco. Who won the Eurovision Song Contest last year, 2022? Was it the United Kingdom? Was it Greece? Was it Norway? Or was it Ukraine? It was indeed the Ukraine. Which of these fish has the shortest lifespan? Is it guppy, discus, betta-fish, or killifish? Guppy, discus, betta, or killifish? Boom. Killifish. 17. What is the hottest planet in the solar system? Got through that last beer very quickly. That was extremely tasty. We're now going to mix. It's Venus. How many oceans are there? We're now going to mix beer night with quiz night. On to the next northern monk. How many oceans are there? 2, 3, 5 or 7? This is the Tank Petrol Hazy IPA. Oh, it looks hazy. Five. There are 5 oceans. Question 19. How long is New Zealand's 90-mile beach? Is it A, 9 miles, B, 90 miles, C, 55 miles, or D, 102 miles? How long is New Zealand's 90-mile beach? We have a new record. First 300-point game. It's 55 miles. Last question. What is the most consumed drink in the world? Is it coffee, Coca-Cola, milk, or tea? I might have to change the times, so you get 30 seconds per question. The answer is tea. And the results are in. With an overwhelming victory with 361 points is Juggler. An unbelievable 361 points is Juggler. Cinema Reef, second place with 284. Fishyology, bringing up the rear with 275. Closely followed by Shadow, Dan 259, Tommy Four Fingers 228. As I always say, anything over 200 is anyway a chance of being a winning score. But not this week, with Juggler with 360 unbelievable points. I can't believe you haven't cheated. So, I don't know. Congratulations, Juggler. As always, send me an email. Let me know who you are, where to send you a thing. And we'll get in touch. So, my favourite part is coming up now. This is the bit I like the most. Where we... where is it? The insights. I like to look at the insights. How many bridges cross the River Thames? Only 3 of you got that right. I think it was 139 was the right answer. Which city is hosting the Eurovision Song Contest? It was Liverpool. And almost everyone got... Brian Fishmank, the only two people that didn't get that right. I was expecting the Americans and the people like that to get that one wrong. Not that. How many oceans border the USA? It was, of course, 3 because the Arctic Ocean at the top, as well as the Pacific and the Atlantic. Tommy, Juggler, Cinema, and Shadow getting that one right. Ooh, which teeth has the biggest fish? Which fish has the biggest teeth relative to body size? Only 3 of you got that one right. Which country won the first Eurovision? It was, of course, Switzerland. Oh, Juggler got that one wrong. I think that must have been the only one. What category did the corals come under? It was obviously animals. A new butterfly was named after which Lord of the Rings character? It was Sauron. YouTuber jailed for what? Yeah, this was a story that just happened over here this week. And I watched the video is still live on YouTube. You can go and watch it now. It's called I Crashed a Plane. Pardon me. He's basically going up in his plane. He's going, yeah, I'm wearing a parachute. I always wear a parachute. And then the engine cuts out as he's going over some mountains. And he just jumps out. He's like, see ya. And all the comments from the time, because the video's like 4 years old, and all the comments are like, yeah, well, I'm a flight safety instructor, and I always say this, the first thing you do whenever you get into trouble, make sure you've got your selfie stick, because he films the whole thing. He films himself jumping out of the plane, then films the plane swinging round and crashing, and then going get it, and then he gets his life saved because he's stuck in these mountains and blah blah. But yeah, it was completely planned, and it was all faked, just to get extra views. You're like, wow, the lengths you would go, you just crash an entire plane. Not only just the expense of crashing a plane, but what if it'd come down in like a village or killed a family or... So yes, he was jailed for crashing a plane. How many acts? That was a bit of a guess in the dark. The average pencil draws a line 35 miles long. I thought that was amazing to me. 1 in 10 adults still suck their thumb. Which of these countries is not competing in the Eurovision finals? Fishyology is the only one to get that one right. So I probably threw you all off the scent, that one. It's called Eurovision and Australia compete in it. I don't get it. I happened to watch a bit of it last night, and the Australian song's pretty good, actually. What country is that? It was, of course, Canada. The L46 is more commonly known as the zebra pleco, or zebra. Zebra, if you're from America, zebra from here, I guess. Who won the Eurovision last year? It was Ukraine. It was really us that won it last year. But, sympathy vote for everyone for Ukraine. Which fish has the shortest lifespan? Yeah. What is the hottest planet in the solar system? Dan and Juggler are the only ones to get that one right. I must admit, I didn't get that one right. I thought it was how close are you to the sun, but no, it's not. Dan, I'm seeing you winning. So if you get the little crown, it means you answered fastest and correctly. How did you not get more points? How long is New Zealand's 90-mile beach? What is the most consumed drink in the world? Of course, it's tea. Well done, everyone. Well done. Well done, well done, well done. Just imagine some clapping noises in the background there. As if my stream deck worked. Right. So, that was a good way to waste 15 minutes. So, I did notice this. IHSB and Aquarium Daily were playing their own little game in chat. You have to join, you have to click the link to get on to that. Sorry. If I didn't explain it properly, and the game is like half a minute ahead of chat, they aren't helping anyone. I did like, this was one of my favourite comments. What the fuck is Eurovision? So, Eurovision is a song contest. It's, as Aquarium Daily says, you're maybe better not knowing, but it's the weirdest song contest in the world. In fact, let me just do this. So, past winners include this person, this person. So the Nordic Scandinavian countries, they always seem to go hard on Eurovision, and I just love it. I think it's brilliant. And then occasionally we have a bearded lady who comes and sings about, I mean, it was a great song and everything, but still, it's just a bit like, whoa. UK entries seem to be recently based on things like this, which were just awful. But last year's was, the guy can actually sing. But it's the weirdest thing in the world. I almost can't not look at it, because it's just so weird, if that makes sense. It's like Car Crash TV. Or, as Rebecca says, utter torture. I can see people Googling. Well, the quiz might be Googleable if you're fast enough, I suppose. Maybe it's really hard to come up with these questions. It takes me hours. I don't know why it takes me so long. But I must. Maybe I could try something that makes it a little bit more difficult to Google. But then the questions are too obscure and people get upset that the questions are too obscure. Geography is not my strong point. I did get an A in it at A level though. You know, I say the same as well. That was I didn't do A levels, I did higher grades because I'm from Scotland, which are higher than A levels. I couldn't tell you where most countries are on a map, but yeah, that was my highest grade, was geography. Ask me about the GDP of a country and I'll tell you all about the mitigating factors. Colin Fix, Brian, it's not that fix. How many bridges were that? 139, I think. The Thames is a long river. Well, Here's a bonus question then. Fastest fingers first on in chat as well. So the Thames had 139 bridges. Oh, let me just double check that. 138 was it? Sorry, 138 bridges over the Thames. The Amazon River, which is longer. How many bridges are there over the Amazon River? First correct answer gets a golf clap. Jiggler, did you get a wrong one? Yeah, there will be an independent adjudicator will qualify all this. Phil's in. Hope you're doing well, Phil. Sorry to hear about your losses during the week. These YouTubers crashing planes, flooding fish rooms just to get views. Yeah, if it worked like that, I'd happily flood my fish room every other day. Oh no, I do that. Ugh. We recently had a military crash just a few miles from me. The pilots never ejected from the planes, even knowing that it was over. They knew those planes crashed, it could harm people. Yeah, there's a thing in Sheffield, so I live in Sheffield. There's a memorial in one of the parks that during the war, some American pilots were flying a bomber and had lost control of it or lost an engine. I can't remember quite exactly what the story was, but they were coming down over Sheffield. And they saw a park, so they aimed for the park thinking that they'd be able to land because there was enough green space for them to get out. And as they got closer and closer to the park, they realised that a school was running their sports day on the park, and as they were coming in, they saw that they were going to wipe out 150 kids or whatever it was. So at the last minute when they saw them, they veered off to the left and went into the forest that was next to the park, and all died and perished, obviously, but to save the lives of these. And now there's a memorial, and Americans come over every year to pay tributes and all that kind of stuff. And this guy just like, yeah, see ya, jumped out with his selfie stick. He's like, pfft. So I'm glad he lost his license and got jailed and all that kind of stuff. So that was a guess. I know Australia are in it because strangely they like it. I don't know. The Australians love Eurovision more than any of the countries in Eurovision. Who let them in? I don't know who let them in. I think they applied to be in because they were such big fans and said, please, please let us in. We love it. And so they've been in it for the last 10 years or so. The quiz is I'm going to get that put on a t-shirt. Thank you, Rebecca. The quiz is a brilliant addition to the live stream. Good. Eurovision is a yearly torture. Even alcohol doesn't make it better. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of Eurovision. The best bit about Eurovision is, in this country anyway, we have extremely... So, the British are good at sarcasm. I think that's a kind of worldwide fact that we know the British are good at sarcasm, but the British commentators for the Eurovision, they set the bar here, and every year they aim for there. The most sarcastic. So Graham Norton usually does it, so I don't know if most of our American colleagues will know about the Graham Norton show. He's a big chat show host over here, but he does the Eurovision commentary every year. So this year he's hosting it, so he's not doing the commentary. But that is the one saving grace of the Eurovision Song Contest, is that you get to listen to that commentary, because the rest of it, like Rebecca says there, is torture. It's horrible songs, barely understandable songs in many cases. Just terrible. But it's so terrible it's good. It's like car crash TV. You just can't look away from it. And that's coming from the British, are renowned for being shit at Eurovision. You often get nil points, which is 0 points. But last year we did really well because we got a really good singer with a really good song. So anyway, yeah, my sister, partner, and friend. So you're the person that within every friend group, within every family, there's someone that's forced to sit through this. That's like, oh God, just make it end. Just glug 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 on the bottles of wine. So you're that person. I used to be that person. I assume with that beard he identifies as male. No. What was he called? Was it? Oh, she called? They called? Oh God, I can never keep up. Dana International, was it? Something like that? Yeah, Dana International, Israeli singer. No, that's a different one. Sorry, I've got that all wrong. No, that's somebody else without a beard. It was Rise like Conchita. That was the one. Conchita Wurst. I can't remember. I saw last year from the US they did a song contest with entries from each state based on the same format as Eurovision. I mean, it's a fairly well-trodden path for how to run a song contest, I suppose. Bucks Fizz made a career out of it. Yeah, you're not wrong. So Bucks Fizz were like was 80s, 70s Buck Fizz? A long time ago. Right, let's hit down. But it's, oh God, you're making friends tonight. How to make friends and influence people. Say you hate Eurovision and the ABBA's terrible. Alright, I forgot I asked the bonus question. 2, incorrect. 0, correct. Hans Hartmann is correct with 0. There are 0 bridges over the Amazon River. There are bridges over some of the tributaries, but none over the main river itself. So, Hans, well done. King of DIY with an interesting question. Will you be moving on from beers to cider and one-day shots? I don't mind a cider. I like a cider on a hot day. I'm a cider ponce though. I like it with some ice on a hot day. I don't. Shots. I'll have shots. If someone gives me a shot, I'll drink it, but I'm not into shots. Shorts. Yes. I'm a big bourbon fan. I like both terrible bourbons and amazing bourbons. I have no time. I have no truck for mediocre bourbons. I want the bottom of the barrel, the top of the barrel. Pardon me. Are you all familiar with the controversy surrounding last year's Spain entry for Eurovision? I am not. Eurovision controversy? Now Googling Spain Eurovision controversy. Why Spain's Eurovision choice has caused a political storm. Feminist controversy over Spain's Eurovision song. Following her win, criticism of the song emerged in Spanish media as commentators questioned whether the lyrics degraded women. The question became the subject of political debate at the end of February when the president of RTVE, the public television radio station, had to go before Spanish Parliament for a regular control session. MP Lydia Gunart said the song promoted sugar daddyism, which she considered a form of prostitution, working against the complete equality of women in society. I was not aware of this controversy. So Eurovision does like to play itself as a non-political entity. Can't beat Terry Wogan doing it. So Terry Wogan did it before Graham Norton. But Terry Wogan's been dead about 15 years, hasn't he? This was I don't know if anybody in the UK watched the Coronation concert this weekend. Or this past weekend. I watched it with a squint the whole time, like, oh my god, are they okay? Or has their hearing been tested? So Rebecca is saying there, for those of us following on in podcast form, most of the songs make me want to ask if the singers are okay or have their hearing been tested. The same with the Coronation. It was like somebody had altered their in-ear monitors or something just so as they thought they were sounding good. But every single one of them was like, oh, why are you scraping that blackboard with those nails? Get away, stop. Oh, it was awful. Right, oh god, I'm miles away again. So, we're into the last half hour. If anyone has any questions, topics, things to say, stick the word question in and I'll see it a lot more readily, and we'll talk about it. Quickly while I scroll down. I'll take a shot of scotch with 2 small ice cubes in it, then I'll sip on it for 15 minutes. I think that's where I'm going wrong. I'll take a shot of bourbon with 2 small ice cubes in it, and then down it in one. So, in all seriousness, have we got any suggestions for people that I can reach out to? I know I have my crippling self-doubt and shyness. I'm going to reach out to people and ask them if they want to come on and tell me a bit about themselves, their channel. So who do you think deserves... So there's going to be several categories. Who is a small channel that needs a shout out and needs a bit more exposure, and I can give that with my limited exposure. A big channel that you just want to hear more from and see on this channel and have a chat with them, all that good stuff. Or something in between, someone who you think is controversial in some way and deserves to be held to account. They'll be the hardest to get to come on. But yeah, who do you want to see? And if we could add a subtext to that, or a subtitle to that, is and why? What would you want me to ask them? What would you want to know about them? So easiest with the small channels, because you can just say, tell me about yourself. Hello, I'm Jim and I like monster fish, and this is why I like monster fish. My channel's all about monster fish. And then we can all ask them questions about monster fish. The bigger channels, slightly harder because they're already big, so we know about them already. So what would I be able to ask, or what would we, if we call ourselves a conglomerate, what would we be able to ask them? What's the missing information out there? What does nobody ever ask these people that would be an interesting, engaging question to ask them? And then your more controversial questions. And I know the King of DIY comes on here every week religiously. Thank you for your patronage. But if we were to actually get him on and ask him some questions, what questions would you like to ask him? What points would you like to make? What arguments would you like to dispel or confirm? So that's one of the things that I wanted to get out of this. The other question that I've got for you is about the second channel, because it's taking up an inordinate amount of time. If I make the changes I suggested earlier, oh dear, and making it more about, instead of just recycling the live stream content, if I made it more about the behind the scenes stuff, the comment responses, the bloopers, all that kind of stuff, is that something you would watch? Because I've currently got 100 subscribers and I struggle to get more than 100 views on each of the videos, and that is not sustainable. We're moving on to beer number 4 of the evening, which means the impending needing to go to the toilet is creeping ever nearer. This one is the baby-faced assassin. A lot less hazy. So it's more of a, looks more golden and ambery on camera than it does in real life. That's by Rooster, Baby-Faced Assassin, Rooster Brewing Company. What does it say about it? Brewed with 100% Citra hops. I usually quite like Citra hops, I think. Zero smell. What a disappointing beer to finish on. That's not nice. Phil with the question. Question, has the Aquarium Ventures glass got broken? No, it hasn't, Phil. I do apologise. I must admit, I do prefer this shape of glass, but I do use the other one. It's just I happened to pick this glass up. I don't know why. I made sure I checked and everything before I came upstairs that the other one was ready. Then I left it downstairs and I had already started. So I apologise. Didn't listen to the coronation concert. Nah, you've done your ears a favour there. Oh, no. Right. Why don't I like this then? What's wrong with it? It sounds like I should like it. Brewed with 100% Citra hops that create aromas of... What does that say? Mango, apricot, grapefruit. I think it's the grapefruit. I do not like grapefruit. And mandarin orange. Along with lasting, juicy, tropical fruit bitterness. Oh, that all sounds good apart from grapefruit. Baby-Faced Assassin is a deceptively drinkable India Pale Ale that shouldn't be taken lightly. Can't be taken lightly because it's fucking minging. Oh, such a disappointment after that nice one. I love Scotch. 12 years plus. Beautiful drink, especially with a cigar and a cheesecake. Rednecks enjoy the finer things in life too. Oh, cigars and cheesecake. You can't go wrong with things beginning with C. They're some of my favourites. Chris Inglezu, CE Fish Essentials. He manages I've not spoken to him, but I've been aware of his work. Okay, take that on board. That might be someone I can reach out to. He's also seen it and looks into wild discus and angels. Yes, yeah, I think that's probably why I know of him. Asking him how discus are in the wild, what they eat, their diversity, but also angels. Question from Coro. If you were to attempt a world record, okay, funds, time not being an issue, what would you pursue and why? Now there's a question I've never been asked. So is this a question that I could ask to a guest, or is this something you genuinely want to ask me? Because I think that's how I would run that past myself if I was going to ask it to a guest. If someone dropped that on me without having time to think, I'd go for a long time and not be able to answer that, because I have never thought about what world record I want to be. It is a good question though. I do like the question. I'm going to have to think about that one. I'm going to have to come back to you on that. Shamu says, having only one tank is the reason why I get so bored with this hobby so easily, and why my channel has stayed small over the last 11 years. Well, I think there's a lot to be said for having one tank, because that is the demographic of 99% of people who have aquariums. They have one. They don't have... Sorry, just breaking stuff under here. They don't have fish rooms. They don't have 10 aquariums. Pardon me. So there's something to be said for that. You are the voice of the people. You could be the voice of the people. Admittedly, it's going to be harder to think of content to make, but you know. Brian says, I think Rebecca and Jason from Prime Time Aquatics could have a fascinating conversation. Or Rebecca and Alexander Williamson. Or Rebecca and Kelly. Rebecca, do you fancy co-hosting my aquarium live stream? And then we can get all these people and I can just sit in the middle and I can handle the tech, doing the different camera angles as you all talk to each other. Yeah, we could do that. Happy to get more than one people on. More than one person on, and have a full-on panel. That would be good, wouldn't it? Everyday fish keeping. I don't think we'd get him on with Rebecca. More behind the scenes stuff. What, for the second channel? Yeah, I'll take that on board. Yes, definitely. I don't want to bring you on just to argue with people. No, I don't want it to be like a hit job on anyone. So I think there's a level that I can handle my own on, which is probably the king of DIY level. But I don't have any deep scientific knowledge to be able to argue deep scientific points. But I can argue... I don't know what I'm trying to say with this. I think I'm smart enough to argue with most people, but I'm also smart enough to be aware that I'm not as smart as everyone. Aquarium Adventures engraved half-yard glass coming to the merch store. Well, we might I do have a tankard, so this isn't it. I keep forgetting to bring it upstairs. That's what Phil was saying earlier. Phil had made a tankard for me, which we gave out as a prize to a couple of people as well, I think. We could maybe get that in the merch store, I don't know. It'd be fascinating if you could get Rachel O'Leary on live, as she seems to basically have disappeared. I know she had personal crap going on. Yeah, I've not seen much from her recently. I don't think she likes me, if I'm completely honest. I know she was... I used to watch her videos, and I think with my drama with the King of DIY, she was Team King of DIY. So I can't see that happening. For people with not big... So this is an interesting point. So people with not big social media. So there's lots of people who aren't on YouTube. I'm not limiting this to YouTube. This isn't like YouTubers with small channels. And I know I said that earlier, but it could be anyone in the hobby. They don't have to have a YouTube channel for me to want to talk to them or for you to want to hear from them. So yeah, anyone that's worth it. Oh, lots of questions. There you go. Question: what is your favourite fish to eat? And what would you keep it in a tank? And would you keep it in a tank? So my favourite fish to eat is cod, because you can't beat a good old British fish and chips. And would I keep it in a tank? I mean, I would, but it'd have to be a bloody big tank. Of other eating fish, I mean, I had a tilapia for quite a while. Lots of people go mad for eating tilapia, but I don't know if I could eat a fish that I kept as a pet. Unless it was the apocalypse. Oh, I don't know. Question from Brian. I watched the stream today, and what I thought was a good question was asked. So what would you describe a fish room as? What would you describe a fish room as? A fish room is a room you keep fish tanks in. I don't think we have to be any more specific or snobby than that. I think I know where you're coming from there, because there's been people who have said, this is a video on my fish room, and they've got like 3 tanks in there, and lots of people are mean and say, that's not a fish room, that's just a room that happens to have fish tanks in it. No, I'm the opposite way. Even though I've got a room dedicated to keeping fish tanks, and I have as many fish tanks as I can cram into it, a fish room is a room that you have fish tanks in. Yeah, I would say you have to have more than 1, but 2 is fine. If that's your room, and that's your room for keeping your fish in, and you like to sit in it and look at your fish, that's your fish room. You don't have to have 10 tanks. You don't have to have 30 tanks. That's nonsense. Mark's Aquatics would have been good, but he seems to have totally stopped making videos. He does, doesn't he? Yeah. Maybe I could bring him out of retirement. So what I will say with all these suggestions is I'm obviously going to forget all this. I'm 4 beers deep into my Friday night live stream. Join the Discord up there. There's a channel called Livestream Ideas or something like that. Stick it in there. It can be as outlandish as you want. It can't hurt to ask these people if they want to come on. My idea is that we have the live stream every Friday at 9 PM, so we'll do 15 minutes of random chat, get a guest in at 9:15 to 9:45 or 10 o'clock or whatever. That can be the guest slot, then we'll do the quiz, and then we'll do the open question at the end. Sounds quite... what's the word I'm looking for? Seems like it would work, yeah. He was not called Eric, and he was not epic. He was an ass. So there's an answer you're not going to get from many people. A fish room to me is a room with fish. Mine has 2 tanks, but a lot of dead fish though. And when she says a lot of dead fish, she doesn't mean fish she has killed. A fish room is your sanctuary and your hell. Yeah, a fish room to me could be taken many ways. Anything from a room with fish in it, whether that's dead fish in a jar, whether it's fish tanks with live fish, whatever it is, it's your hobby room, and fish keeping is your hobby, and it's your hobby room. You can take it to the extremes, and that's no different to saying I'm a cyclist and I have 1 bike, and I'm a cyclist and I have 10 bikes. I'm a golfer and I play once a month. I'm a golfer and I play 3 times a week. These are all within the same things. They're all one category. So a fish room is a fish room. You just have to have fish, and it's for that purpose. You don't have to take it to the extreme that I have, for instance. As QC says, if the main focus of the room is the fish tanks, then it's a fish room. Indeed. What is your favourite fish to eat, and would you drink it in a smoothie? So still cod, and no, I would not drink it in a smoothie, probably. Silver Creek's talking about his racing career, racing people for money at 14 years old on dirt bikes. So, world records. I'm trying to go back and think about that. I don't know. I'm trying to think what I was doing at 14 years old. Since you're coming into pond season, what about Righty? Ask him about his filter systems over the years, or Ginger Fishy is quite good recently. So Righty, I have seen some stuff. I'm not sure about Ginger Fishy. Animals at Home did panels where everyone discusses a topic kind of more neutrally. Yeah, that if I was to do the panel type thing, it wouldn't be here are 4 people with 4 polar opposite opinions. Go! I would want to try and foster some kind of conversation, and I have done the whole facilitation thing. In my job, I often have to diffuse situations and get warring factions to work together, so I think I could do that quite well. I kind of like that idea if we could get a few people on that were knowledgeable, because my worry is that I get, so if I imagine if I had freshwater ichthyology as my guest for the evening, I'd be going, what do you know about this? And they'd tell me all the things I know about this, and I'd be going, yeah, I don't know any of that. That's not the best live stream in the world. Whereas if I could get 2 people that knew lots about stuff that could talk about things at the same level, and then I pitch in with things, that might be more entertaining. I don't know. It could be just all nonsense. So yeah, it's something I'm thinking about. It upsets me that there's lots of people out there with channels making great content that aren't getting the recognition that I get, and my channel's nonsense. So let's promote some of that, if nothing else. And if you have any ideas, stick them in Discord. Join the Discord server. It's free. It's a very welcoming, community-based, easygoing, non-judgmental space. Nothing else. Show off your tanks. We all like to see all your tank pictures. But there is a channel in there that if you've got ideas, let me know what the ideas are. Nathan Hill, no, that'd be a good one, yeah. Oh god, I'm miles behind again. If I had a fish room with 20 tanks, I'd get overwhelmed. Most people would. I do. I do every now and again. That's why automation is your friend, because then you don't have to get overwhelmed by a lot of things. But yeah, it's a very common problem, and I see it YouTube-wise. I see it all the time of people who come in. I'm going to make a YouTube about, I've got 5 fish tanks, I'm going to make a YouTube channel. And then they make a YouTube channel, now I've got 10, now I've got 15, now I've got 20. They just explode and burn out. So it's the number is meaningless. Just make the best content you can with the stuff that you've got. Friday night live stream special, aquatics in the home question time. Yeah, we could do that. Welcome to it, Clark. More than happy to share the wealth. Why is pan-searing so popular, says African Orchid Dude? As opposed to what? So pan-searing is just a fancy way of saying frying. Right, the last couple of minutes. For those of you interested in carrying on the conversation, obviously we've got the Discord server up here. But Silver Creek Aquatics is a channel you can go and watch. Cold Water Aquatics usually streams just after me, so you can go and check him out. If you do that, say Aquarium Adventures sent me, and I don't know why I keep saying that. It was, for fun. Why not? Just lets them know that we care about them, if nothing else. I saw that comment there about I still think primitive would be good, as you were kind of brought up there. Not by people, but with your waste pipe disaster. Yes, that was. Oh. There you go. Cold Water Aquatics live stream is there. It's starting in 1 minute's time. It may have already started. So I'm going to do some wind down now and say thank you everyone who has joined me tonight. If you don't mind on your way out clicking the like button or the hate button, I don't really mind. Either button does the same thing. Check out my second channel. I'll put a link to the second channel in the description. If you could just go and watch a video and give it a like or a subscribe, I'd be much obliged. I've only got 100 subscribers on my second channel. So I'm trying to build that up a little bit. You will be seeing some unique content on there over the coming weeks. So if you don't want to miss anything, give it a wee subscribe and a wee notification bell click. Otherwise, thank you for joining me this week. Next week we will have the first of the guests, hopefully the first of many guests. We'll still have the quiz. We'll still have all the nonsense and the beer drinking. Don't worry about that. And in the coming weeks, we'll have more guests, hopefully. But thank you for joining me. If you wouldn't mind giving me a wee subscribe or a wee like on your way out, it would be most appreciated. And we'll see you in the next one. See you next week, folks. Bye.